What is high-res audio? Well, here's our primer on what that means for those who think Spotify and the Apple iPod raised the bar for music playback. I'm Elon Osborne, and this is eCoustically Speaking. Hard to imagine, but it has now been 3 years since Apple put the venerable iPod out to pasture. And while it would be pretentious to suggest that the iPod was the single worst thing that happened to audio quality going back to the launch of DCC or digital compact cassette, the reality is that the best-selling digital audio player, or DAP, of all time likely did have an influence on the evolution of high-resolution audio. It's likely that audiophile-oriented streaming platforms such as Tidal and Qobuz would have a customer base in 2025 had the iPod and iTunes not created a generation of low-resolution audio listeners, with perhaps no prior awareness of how great music could actually sound. In response, high-res audio, or high-resolution audio, may have been a form of pushback against the low-resolution standards of the day. With high-resolution audio, music lovers could finally hear music the way the artists, engineers, and producers intended it to be heard. The issue is that 99% of the music listening population has no idea what the term means. And that is not entirely surprising. Many audiophiles don't either. Are we the only ones who find it strange that the high-res audio branding appears on the packaging of audio components that don't offer actual high-resolution audio as a feature? Unless you're a manufacturer selling wireless loudspeakers that support high-res streaming, or you're just trying to cash in on the latest buzzwords, why are you putting that on your packaging anyway? We're gonna say it's that cool logo. But high-resolution audio is much more than just a logo. And legitimate use of that logo does come with certain requirements, which we'll cover soon, I promise. The terms high-res audio and high-resolution audio are used interchangeably, but there is one specific difference. They both refer to a collection of digital audio formats that have a higher bit depth and/or sampling frequency than the standard 16-bit 44.1 kHz audio format, aka CD quality. Bit depth and sampling rate are what define the precision with which digital audio can capture organic analog waveforms. The goal of high-resolution audio is to provide a listening experience that is closer to the original recording or live performance with greater detail, clarity, and dynamic range. For audio purists, real high-res audio is typically considered to be digital audio that has a sample rate of 96 kHz or higher and a bit depth of 24 bits or higher. Some high-resolution audio formats can even reach a sample rate of 384 kHz and a bit depth of 32 bits, although these formats are less common. The greater the numbers, the more storage and transmission bandwidth is required for each track and album. Some will argue that 16-bit 48 kHz qualifies as high-res audio, since it technically is higher than CD quality, but I'm not sure that distinction is great enough to convince mainstream consumers of its validity. It's worth noting that not all high-resolution audio is created equal, and there are no real established standards for what constitutes high-resolution audio. However, there are organizations like the Digital Entertainment Group, the CEA, and the Japan Audio Society that have established guidelines for what qualifies to use the aforementioned high-res audio logo. To earn that logo, a high-res audio certified audio product must support 24-bit 96 kHz or higher digital file playback. So while high-res audio and high-resolution audio may be used interchangeably, it's gotta be 24-bit 96 kHz or above to get that shiny high-res audio logo. It's important to note that high-res audio is not just about increasing the audio bitrate. The key is to capture and preserve as much detail as possible from the original recording, so that the listener can experience the music as close as possible to the way it was intended to be heard. High-res audio is designed to provide a more accurate and detailed representation of the original recording, preserving the subtleties and nuances of the music that can be lost in the compression process of other audio formats like MP3 or Dolby Digital. Even Dolby and DTS have their high-res audio variants with stereo and multi-channel lossless recordings that can be sampled at 96 kHz with 24-bit precision without any loss via Dolby True HD or DTS HD Master audio formats. To play high-res audio files, you'll need an audio system that supports these higher quality formats and a digital to analog converter, or DAC, that can process the higher resolution data, converting it to analog for playback on headphones or speakers. DACs are integrated into a wide range of components, including wireless headphones, wireless loudspeakers, wireless turntables, wireless IEMs, network amplifiers and streamers, computers, CD players, smartphones, and tablets, dongle DACs, DAPs, AV receivers, and integrated amplifiers. Whew! Even TVs have a built-in DAC or two to convert those Netflix movies into something your TV speakers can actually play. There are even standalone audiophile DACs whose sole purpose is to take a digital input signal and convert it to an analog output. Although, not all DACs are created equal, and depending on the age of the chipset, they might only be able to decode up to CD quality, which is not high-resolution audio, remember? But in these enlightened times of trickle-down technology, even $329 streamers like the WIM Ultra can support high-resolution audio playback. Its ESS ES9038Q2M Sabre DAC chip supports up to 24-bit, 192 kHz sampling rates. It can even display DSD and DXD files. More on that later. There are several high-resolution audio formats and file types, including FLAC. This is a popular open-source format that provides lossless compression, meaning that the audio files are compressed in size without any loss of quality. FLAC files typically have a bit depth of 16 or 24 bits and a sample rate of 44.1 kHz all the way to 192 kHz. ALAC. This is a proprietary format developed by Apple to use in their products. Like FLAC, ALAC provides lossless compression and supports high-resolution audio with bit depths of 16 or 24 bits and sample rates up to 192 kHz. PCM. PCM isn't a specific file format like WAV or MP3, but it is instead a technique or method for converting analog sound into digital data. CDs, DVDs, and Blu-ray discs typically all have a PCM soundtrack, and PCM is used for file formats such as WAV and DXD. It has many variations of bit depth and sample rates, up to 32 bits, 384 kHz. WAV. This is a popular and widely used container format that supports high-resolution audio with bit depths up to 32 bits and sample rates up to 384 kHz. While WAV files can contain compressed audio files, they typically use PCM to store uncompressed digital audio, making the file sizes much larger but providing the highest quality audio. AIFF. This is another popular and widely used format that is like WAV. It supports high-resolution audio with bit depths up to 32 bits and sample rates up to 384 kHz and is also typically uncompressed. DSD. This is a proprietary format that was originally developed for Sony's Super Audio CD or SACD physical media format and uses a different encoding method compared to a traditional PCM audio format. DSD uses a single-bit encoding system with a high sample rate, typically 2.8 MHz or 5.6 MHz, to provide a high level of audio quality. While first only available in SACDs, DSD files are now available for streaming or download on some services. DXD. This is a high-resolution audio format developed mainly for mixing and mastering, particularly for editing and manipulating DSD recordings, as DSD recordings themselves are somewhat unwieldy to edit directly. DXD features a 24-bit PCM format with a sampling rate of 352.8 kHz. It is also available as a distribution format for high-resolution audio files. These are some of the most common high-resolution audio formats. The choice of format will depend on your specific needs, the service you are using to stream or download digital music, and the type of playback device you are using. Some devices may not support all these formats, so it's important to check compatibility before purchasing high-resolution audio content and hardware. DSD and DXD are probably the least common formats and are generally only supported by high-end DAPs, SACD players, DACs, dongle DACs, network amplifiers and streamers, and a very limited number of wireless loudspeakers. Few of the mainstream audiophile streaming platforms like Tidal offer DSD or DXD file formats. However, Qobuz recently added support for both DSD and DXD files for purchase or download only, not for streaming. High-resolution audio files in these file formats can be purchased from audiophile music labels, but the files are generally very large, so they're better suited for DAPs with removable storage or high-end music servers like a Roon Nucleus with large capacity hard drives. Whether high-res audio is better or not depends on various factors such as the quality of your playback equipment and your personal preferences. In general, high-res audio provides a more accurate and detailed representation of the original audio recording, as it has a higher sampling frequency and bit depth compared to standard audio formats. This can result in a wider frequency range, better imaging, deeper bass, and improved overall sound quality. Additionally, the quality of the source material also plays a significant role in the perceived improvement of high-res audio. If the original recording was made with low-quality equipment or poor production techniques, upscaling it to high-res audio may not result in a significant improvement in sound quality, if any. These days, there are several music streaming platforms that offer high-res audio content, including Tidal. Tidal is one of the largest high-res audio streaming platforms, offering millions of tracks in high-resolution audio format, including FLAC and ALAC. Tidal also offers exclusive content such as concert and music videos and supports offline playback. Tidal also offers a selection of tracks in Dolby Atmos spatial audio. Qobuz. Qobuz is another popular high-res audio streaming platform offering a wide selection of high-resolution audio tracks, including FLAC and ALAC files for streaming, and even DSD and DXD files for separate purchase and download. Qobuz also offers detailed album information and editorial content, making it a great choice for music lovers. Deezer. Deezer offers a selection of high-res audio tracks including FLAC and ALAC formats, with plans starting at a higher price point than its standard offering. Apple Music. Apple Music offers high-resolution audio up to 24-bit 192 kHz, although not all Apple devices can decode it without special adapters. Apple Music also offers a selection of tracks in Dolby Atmos spatial audio. Apple Music also acquired the Primephonic classical music streaming service in 2021 and now offers a wide selection of classical music titles in 24-bit 192 kHz high-res audio. Amazon Music Standard. Amazon Music offers a large selection of music tracks in HD format, aka lossless CD quality, and UHD format, or high-res audio. But to get them, you'll have to pony up for a monthly subscription fee on top of your Prime membership. The free version of Amazon Music with Prime does not support HD or UHD music tracks, nor even direct track access. 2 tiers of Amazon Music Standard and Amazon Music Unlimited, both offer high-res audio tracks including FLAC and ALAC formats. The unlimited version also includes 1 free audiobook per month. Amazon Music Standard and Unlimited also offer a good selection of music tracks in Dolby Atmos and Sony 360 Reality Audio. Hi-Fi Cast. Hi-Fi Cast is a new player in the high-res audio streaming space, offering a large selection of high-resolution audio tracks including FLAC, ALAC, and DSD. But did you notice something missing from that list? We must point out that Spotify, the world's most popular streaming service, still does not offer any lossless or high-res audio music. Spotify Hi-Fi was announced in 2021, but never came to market. Even now in 2025, we're still waiting for Spotify Hi-Fi. The latest rumors suggest that Spotify Hi-Fi may be launched later this year as part of a Spotify Music Pro upgrade and may command a premium of an additional $6 a month on top of Spotify's $12 a month premium plan. We shall see. High-res audio or high-resolution audio is intended to provide an improvement over lossy music formats like MP3 and even lossless CDs by providing a more natural sounding representation of music and sound by using more powerful and more precise digital audio capture and playback techniques. The availability of high-res audio content can vary among platforms, and some platforms may offer higher quality streams than others. When choosing a high-res audio streaming platform, whether a streaming service or the physical hardware to play your music on, it's important to consider the selection of available content, the quality of the streams, the format supported, and the price. Is it worth the investment? Only your ears can tell you that. So we encourage you to try it for yourself and see. And that wraps up this episode of Ecoustically Speaking. As always, to keep up on all things hi-fi, home theater, home audio, gadgets, wearables, and tech, be sure to bookmark ecoustics.com. Until next time.